Hey, what's going on, America? So look, check it out, right? As you know, last night they went ahead and they shut the government down as a result of Democrats refusing to negotiate over Obamacare. And also, as you know, the Democrats are taking exemptions from Obamacare. Obama's issued 19 different alterations unilaterally to the healthcare law, and he's issued hundreds upon hundreds of exemptions. So my thing is, if we can't be exempt according to the law, why don't we just exempt ourselves? All we have to do, according to Obama, because he's the one that said it himself, is refuse to enroll. He said if young people don't enroll overwhelmingly, then it's bad for the healthcare law. So if we refuse to enroll, number one, and number two, we keep voicing our opinions in opposition to Obamacare and in support of this government shutdown, all we have to do is hold our ground for 10 more days. On October 11th, I'm encouraging you to get up and support the truckers, because the truckers are going to support you. They have chosen to protest the weekend of October 11th through the 13th, refusing to haul any freight, as well as no commerce of any kind, and they're calling on you to participate. The reason they're calling on you is because they can't do it without you. Now, I think we should support the truckers, because at the end of the day, they're cramming Obamacare down our throats. They did not bring it to the American public for a vote. They're not going to bring it to the American public for a vote, because they know if they do, they're overwhelmingly going to lose the vote. And it's my health care. It's just my health care. It's none of the federal government's business. I will not be enrolling. As soon as I get my Obamacare package in the mail, I'm going to torch it. And I'm probably going to put it on YouTube while I'm burning it. I suggest you all do the same. Refuse to comply. Disobedience. They can only get what they want if we comply. If we're disobedient little peasants, then what do they have? This is our country is in distress, guys. We have the most frightening healthcare takeover coming into place. They were talking about the exchanges this morning, how at first there was a bunch of bumps in the road and the exchanges weren't up and running. And then they were saying how while the exchanges were up and running, people were seeing that their premiums were skyrocketing, upwards of 40, 50, 75% in the Midwest. And that's not even including the rest of the states. So what are we going to do about it? I'll tell you what we do about it. We shut this mother effer down. If we don't shut it down, then what are we going to do? Sit around and wait till they come take us to our refugee camps? Because that's what's going to happen. Would you rather go to a refugee camp, or would you rather find peaceful and legal revolution? We are right now a nation that is so divided between party lines, and the reason why we're divided is because the one party has their head in the sand. The other party has ideological malfunctions, and the middle people, us, well, if you're paying attention, your head's not in the sand. If you're not paying attention, your head's in the sand. And I look at it this way. For those that have their head in the sand, I feel like those of us that are protesting Obamacare and protesting the federal regime takeover that's happening right now in front of us are doing those not paying attention a huge favor. Now, I'm not into doing the next person big favors like that, especially when they're ungrateful. But at this point right now, this is bigger than you and I. This is the future of our country. This is our children's future. This is the future of future generations. If we don't stop it now, guys, you can kiss elections goodbye. You can kiss any type freedom we may have left goodbye. I mean, the remnants of it, the true remnants of it. And I would advise you to contact your congressmen and your senators and tell them you are in full support of the shutdown. And until they stop Obamacare, they don't need to open back up. Because they're not being paid to work for us anymore. They're being paid by corporate sponsors. And last I checked, neither one of our politicians were God, were Allah, Or were they Jehovah or any other religious figure? They might follow religion, but they're neither one of the higher powers. They are not God Almighty. They are not up on a shining throne on the hill. They are in Washington, D.C. We elected them to go there and do our bidding and answer to the will of their constituents. They are no longer answering to the will of their constituents, which means they no longer represent us, which also means that they're waging a war against their constituents and the American public by implementing this unacceptable, unsustainable, unaffordable health care law. Now, the reason why I say unaffordable health care law is because Obama keeps referring to it as the Affordable Health Care Act. So, what are we going to do, America? We are at the crosshairs right now. We can make history or we can repeat history. What's it going to be?